it's we in New Orleans we do bars and stuff like that, so it's not set up for comedy at all unless we set it up for that. And a lot of people go there and they're just not expecting comedy sometimes.
You're right.
So whenever you got a club, bro, it does change the whole atmosphere of things because they're ready to laugh. They're ready to be engaged. Dude,
last night was a good example, man. Your show, like when I started that set, there wasn't anything but those 3 people from Pennsylvania there.
Yeah.
And then by the time I'm done, the room had just filled up. People had started flowing in.
Yeah.
So you got to be kind of ready for anything. People come in to have a drink, and then they saunter on over to you and come check out what you're talking about.
Well, that's why I told you to get on there like a couple people down, too, because I know my room. Like the first 2 or 3 people, they get that light crowd.
Yeah.
You know, my room fills up later, and that's why I start at 8:30.
Yeah.
Because at 9 o'clock, that's when it kind of like really starts to flow.
And you let people do 7 minutes, man. That's awesome.
I let you do 8 last night. Everybody,
I thought so.
Dude, everybody, I didn't get out of there till fucking 12:30.
Yeah.
I didn't finish the show till 12:30. I didn't get out of there till 1:30 area. I didn't get home till almost 2.
Well, for me and Morgan, where we come from the North Shore, I mean, I've made the trip for 3 minutes at Hi-Ho before. I Ubered one time for 3 minutes at Hi-Ho.
Yeah.
But, I just love being on stage, but 7 minutes, it's worth it, it's worth the time.
Yeah, it's definitely, I love it's the fucking best workout mic in the city, and I'm glad I was able to, like, help. Shout out to Marcus Bond for passing it down to me, and I was able to, like, help make that happen.
And that came from Corey Mack originally? Was that his?
Yeah, it was Corey Mack's. Alex Curo ran a couple weeks in the old scene. Marcus ran it a couple weeks in the old scene, but it was Corey Mack's show.
Corey gave me my first paid gig in comedy, man. I owe that dude a lot.
Corey's a good guy, man. Look, during the pandemic, it was like me and Corey was just out there doing his thing. It was me in this city, you know what I'm saying? And Corey was just like making moves through the pandemic, just having shows in Florida. And I was like, I hit him up and was like, dude, what you're doing is inspiring. Keep doing that shit. And he was like, I appreciate that, bro.
He grinds, man.
Because Corey is a grinder. He's one of the people that I had the privilege of watch doing his thing during before the pandemic.
Right. You
know what I mean? I got to watch Corey, like, grow a little bit. Like, before I got in the game, Corey's been doing it. You know what I mean? He's been doing it, bro. But I got to still see, like, come in on the back end and watch him be fully who Corey is.
An entertainer, dude.
An entertainer fully,
entertainer,
dude.
Bro.
Entertainer fully. He's just all aspects of funny. He makes those fucking beats with his fucking mouth and shit like that. It's like
his wife's a good comic too, man.
It's like watching Doug. You know what I'm saying? Doug, and it got Skeeter on Doug. Skeeter.
Oh yeah.
What you know about Doug, man?
Man, come on, man. I ain't that much older than you, brother.
What's your age?
I'm 30, pushing 38, man.
38. You don't look that old, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel twice that old.
Jail preserves us a
Does
little
it?
bit.
Lord, I swear to God, bro. I should have come out looking younger, man.
Hell yeah.
It's funny, like, while I'm in there, like, I feel like my hair is actually turning gray while I'm in there, bro. Yeah. Nice. I'm just getting to a point now, I think I was telling you about it the other night, where I can... I'm talking about it a lot more in my set, broaching the subject and everything. I'm just able to kind of find the humor in it,
Yeah, people love it, man. I'm telling you. They really do. I love telling jail stories.
Yeah. Running eps.
Right. I love telling this. People, like, especially on stage, they are just so attentive because you don't realize how many people don't go to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
And they're interested in that shit.
Everybody tells me, dude, talk more about the jail shit. Talk more about the jail shit. And, there's a qualifier for that. Like, it's got to be funny.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure some people would, just check out a dude talking your running jail eps for 10, 15 minutes. But at the end of the day, I want to make people laugh.
Right.
So I get in kind of where I fit in with it. I got a bit about some of the ridiculous tattoos I've seen in prison.
Yeah.
I got a bit about my favorite saying that I heard in prison, which is use a whole hoe out here. and like, I can't say that enough in my life, dude. Like, I took that to the streets with me, dude.
That's some New Orleans shit, bro.
Straight up, bro. Like, I felt at home, bro. And it was crazy because, I don't know, where you did your time at, but I was I did 5 years.
I just sat in Gretna for a couple months.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, luckily I had a lawyer that
They keep shipping me up to. They kept shipping me up north, man. I mean, I did Hunts, Cottonport, but then I spent the majority of my time up on the other side of the state, bro. You talk about some country motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the type that call what are the lunch supper and shit like that, and say I reckon, like, dude, you start talking like that for real.
Well, I reckon you done got shipped to Pickles' house today, baby. Welcome to Pickles' house today, man. I'm excited for this one. We are here at Comedy House, New Orleans, shooting the Pickles' house out of this today. Shout out to Comedy House. We are we're covering the Comedy Fest, and right now I'm able to have one podcast I'm shooting out of our I guess our green room. Right, it's gonna be our green room for comedy for Comedy House.
Yeah.
But we're doing Pickles' house right now, baby, and I'm excited for this guy. Man, I met this person in the heat of the pandemic. He started coming through doing podcasts, and I got on stage and I could see his curiosity about me while I was on stage, and I got to meet this guy, and he was a very interesting character. He kind of reminded me of myself, and he's working hard out here. He's a Mandeville comic, but he's running all around Louisiana right now doing this thing. He's part of the roast battles in August in Comedy House New Orleans, and he's getting to do Comedy Fest at Comedy House New Orleans, Comedy Fest too, man. And I'm really proud of this guy, and I'm proud to introduce Matthew LaRocca.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me, bro. This is exciting.
No problem.
I got a lot of respect for both what you and Brandon do in terms of putting the spotlight on these comics, bro. Like, this is some great exposure.
We need it in New Orleans, man. We are truly the underground, and we're going to come to light now.
I feel like the talent's there. Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely there. I feel like we can go pound to pound with any fucking state.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. We have any type of comic in our scene.
Mm-hmm.
Roasters. Yeah. We got impressionists. We've got realists. Storytellers.
Yeah.
And personally, I try to wrap all that up in one with within myself. You know what I mean? Because you got to be a master of all trades in this game.
You're right.
Because you never know what's gonna happen on that stage.
You got to adapt, man.
Yeah.
You got to go with the flow. You're right.
And that's one thing about you. I noticed you have adapted well.
Thank you.
From the time I saw you starting to do your jokes to now, you're doing very well.
Thank you.
So I wanted to bring you in and let everybody get to know you today, man.
Thank you, man.
Let's see. Let's start off. Where are you from?
Well, I'm from the North Shore, from St. Tammany Parish, specifically Madisonville. I tell people, Mandeville, that's a little more well known, but Madisonville is like the not talked about cousin next door that they just kind of shove off to the side.
That's the ugly cousin nobody wants to talk to. They just there for the ride.
They'll fuck them though. Yeah. Yeah, that's Madisonville for you, bro.
Everybody needs love.
There you go. I used to say we're the type of people to have curtains and a duvet cover in our meth house. Brand new set of tires on our house,
Yeah.
Like that's how we roll out there.
Hell
man.
yeah, brand new.
Yeah, they tore up, bro, for real. But it's love though. It's like I grew up with good Italian family.
Hey.
The type that gets together on holidays and other things. Just everybody's there.
Me too. I remember that back in the day. Like my family, I'm Italian. So me and my family, we would have these like big tables. Like most of my family has passed away. God rest their soul. But we would have like tables of 40 people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was just like
food and little kids.
Amazing, yeah. Like I was the little kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was the little kid running around and snatching a dessert off. Give me that cannoli. Let me get that macaroon.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought everyone grew up that way, Like,
I did too.
I would ask my friends, like, so are you going to your mom's side of the family's house for Thanksgiving or your dad's side of the family's house? Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
Whose side of the family? What?
Right. Yeah. Did y'all do St. Joseph altars? You ever got to do those?
St. Joseph
altars.
What is that?
A St. Joseph altar is like whenever. All right, it's like an altar of food, bro. I mean, it's just food. It's stacked.
Oh, I know what you're talking
what I'm
about.
talking
I didn't know they
about?
called that St. Joseph
It's
altar.
St. Joseph
I know exactly
altars.
what you're talking about.
I think it's Easter. You know what I mean? They do them for the celebration of Easter.
Yeah.
Easter's the resurrection of Christ, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
when
so
he came
that's
back from the dead.
That's what we used to do those, bro, and I remember that shit. And I remember it distinctively because we used to do a reenactment in our family,
like a Civil War reenactment for Easter.
For biblical times. Yes.
Well, it's kind of morbid. Who played Jesus? John,
I did.
The bloody hands and everything.
I played Jesus.
I'm back, bitches.
I came in. That's what I was telling you. I came in on my donkey. You know, it wasn't a real donkey. It was imaginary. But
I got you. So where does the Easter bunny and dyed Easter eggs fit into Easter?
We didn't really have. I mean, we had them as a personal family, but like when the St. Joseph altar stuff, it was just fucking tables of food, and I mean stacked to the ceiling, and it went up. You know, it was like a mountain of shit that went up. I was like, this is great. And like later on in my life, I didn't realize it, but like I appreciate having that in my life.
Hell yeah, you don't realize how lucky you were, man.
Right.
A lot of kids don't grow up like this. Did you go? Were you raised Catholic?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was raised, but I didn't accept it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I did not accept the religion
Right.
because I went to Catholic church and I was like, this is some boring shit.
Yeah. I'm with
I
that.
did not want to be there. Like I used to click my heels together.
Like Dorothy, Wizard of Oz.
Louder, a lot louder, yeah.
Right.
But I was wishing to go home. You
Yeah.
know? Mainly I was wishing to go to McDonald's. That's I was like the Monopoly games out. I gotta get all of them.
Mama, come on, how long does this shit last? I got a place to be.
I need boardwalks.
Saints are fixing to kick off. Yep.
I want six. I want 6 hash browns. That's what I want.
Just give me the left side of the menu, please. Just bag it up. Yeah.
Anything with those little peel things on it. With
Right.
that.
The more fried, the better, man.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you had those big family dinners and stuff
We
like that
did.
when you were a kid.
Yeah, we did. Not just for holidays and stuff, but for we would do get-togethers, reunions, stuff like
Yeah.
that. It was very family-centric. My family is from originally. They're from like the Metairie area.
Right.
Some uptown.
Have you went back and found out what part of Italy y'all are from?
I believe it's somewhere around Sicily.
Sicily?
I believe my parents have gone to Italy. I was on a state vacation at that time.
Okay.
Yeah. But they went. They sent me postcards from a couple cool places. If you watch The Godfather, okay, the scene where Michael Corleone is walking through the graveyard, like after he got sent to Italy, after he shot the guy that shot his father, they've got this big mausoleum there with people's names on it. If you look closely, you can see LaRocca.
No
it's
shit.
like the Italian way they do it, like La, then a space, then the capital R. You got to pause it real quick, but yeah, it's in there.
That's fucking awesome. That's cool as fuck, man. Yeah, I'm from. My family is from Sicily as well. Off the coast of Sicily, there's an island called Ustica. That's where my family's from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten to go visit the motherland? Or
I haven't gotten to visit the motherland because of probably jail stuff.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to, but I actually need to figure that shit out now since I'm fully a free man.
Yeah.
But shit, what was I about to tell you? Yeah, somebody, my cousin, I have family out there still, and when I was younger, one of my cousins came to visit me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have family out there still, like by Sicily?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I have because she was I remember her. She was a beautiful girl, blonde girl.
Italian girls are beautiful. Dude.
Italian girl. And my cousin, you know what I mean? And she brought me a baseball glove.
Yeah.
She bought me a baseball glove, and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" You know
That's
what I mean?
great.
I love getting to meet somebody, part of my family from Italy. It was crazy. I
Did
never
she
got
speak
to go out
English,
there.
or was she?
She spoke a little bit, but she
Yeah.
didn't speak much.
That's cool.
But I was real young whenever they came to America.
Yeah.
But I do remember getting to meet some of my Italian family.
That's very cool. I know my folks tried to look up like our last name when they were in Italy and just, go through the phone book and see what they could find.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that they ever really went further than that in it.
Yeah.
But I have family members on, like my dad's side that have traced our lineage back. back through Italy and everything. They did the little family tree and all that. The further back you go, the more and more Italian the names start to get, dude.
Hell yeah.
Starts off Nicholas, then it's Antonio, then it's like, the longer, more complicated they get.
My fucking whole name is Nicolo Salvatore Giardina.
I saw that, man. When I saw it on Facebook, I was like, Nicolo, this motherfucker. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So let's see. How'd you do in school?
I did well when I applied myself. I graduated from Mandeville High in 03.
Okay.
I went to LSU.
Nice.
03, actually, my freshman year was the year that we won the national championship with Nick Saban.
Nice.
I was there for a year and a half. Grades were
You
great.
were partying in that bitch.
I was. That was my downfall. Like
Did you get to go to Death Valley?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I had season tickets.
I never gotten to go, man.
I was there. It's bigger now than when I was there.
Yeah.
There's at least 15,000 more students that they crammed there. I think it didn't even hold 100,000 when I was there. It's well over that now.
Wow.
But I went there for our national championship season 03. I got to go to all those games, dude.
That was wild.
Man, was it? Like, people hate Nick Saban for leaving us and going to Alabama. I can't hate that man because he gave me one of the most fun years of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was his work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that, fortunately the drinking never affected my grades. Like, I was on Dean's list. I had A's, B's. I was studying psychology. I was getting into trouble with alcohol, though. If you can believe it, at LSU, like, I was getting into serious trouble on campus with alcohol. I didn't even know that was like a thing. I didn't even know like you could get in trouble for drinking. Like, I thought that was just what they did. So it got to the point where I was sitting in the office of the student of Dean Affairs so many times. I was about to leave for Christmas break, sophomore year. And they said, if by the time you come back for the next semester, you haven't shown some proof that you've enrolled in some type of alcohol rehab, don't even bother re-enrolling in the school.
Wow.
And just so happened over that semester,
Animal, huh, bro?
Then I went home and caught a whole charge, 2 of them. Oh, yeah, shit. And I ended up withdrawing, anyway.
So you went from college to jail?
Well, in a roundabout way. So that was about 03. I took a semester off, fought the charges. It was, wasn't anything serious, but it was like my first time going through the system, really. I was like 20 years old. And I re-enrolled at SLU. And I was there till 09. I graduated in 09, and then I went from there to jail.
What was your first charge?
Well, DWIs. All my shit is DWIs. Yeah. I've got 5 of them total. Damn. Yeah.
You're not supposed to be a free man.
Yeah. They gave me 20 years, dude. They gave me 20 years with the good time.
Wow.
So I ended up doing, altogether, I've done close to 8 years.
That's God letting you out, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. God and Bell Edwards. Yeah. Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would argue they're one and the same, almost.
Yeah.
No, his prison reform got me out literally a year and 3 days earlier than mine.
A good lawyer is priceless.
Shit.
Dude, I swear, a good lawyer is priceless. I was supposed to do 8 years, and I paid my lawyer. I had a good Italian lawyer.
Yeah.
And he knows all the people in the system, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those guys that give me a favor,
Yeah.
Good lawyer,
That's what you find, dude, is like it's all just such a good old boy system.
Yeah, in Louisiana for sure.
When those lawyers, like, when they sell you that dream, like when they sign you up, they promise you the moon, bro.
Yeah.
And they know what they can get for you.
Yeah.
Before you even step in the courtroom, they know what your deal is going to be.
Right.
Dude, I caught a charge 2 years
All they want is their payment.
That's it. I caught a charge 2 years ago, man, while I was still on parole. I was facing 20 flat because they were going to quad bill me. And I had a public defender. That's all I could do, public defender. Yeah. This man fought for me, got that shit thrown out, bro. He was by far the best lawyer I've ever had. Whole public defender didn't cost me a dime.
Wow.
I sent that man a Christmas card, straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Absolutely, man.
Heck yeah. So let's not get too far into that yet. Do you have any early influences in comedy that you remember?
Yeah, I was always a Chris Rock guy.
Chris Rock?
Chris Rock was my first comedy album that I ever bought. That was like my first real exposure to it. A good
How old
comedy.
were you?
Oh, I was probably, I'm going to say 14.
Okay.
Roundabouts, when I was about 7th or 8th grade. Dennis Leary was big at that time.
Yeah.
I remember Dennis Leary. And then eventually Dave Attell. Dave Attell and straight up Dane Cook, too.
Dane Cook was one of mine for sure.
Yeah.
Growing up, he came out hard when I was a teenager. But David Teller seemed to be the GOAT nowadays.
Yeah, David Tell was nice. He still is, man.
Yeah, I heard. He just went out on tour with that Burt Kreischer, that Fully Loaded tour.
Yeah, that looks like a hell of a tour, bro.
I keep an eye on all those little podcasts and everything, and everybody sings David Tell's praises.
Oh yeah, he's a comic in the true sense of the word, man.
I really want to go see him, bro.
Me too, absolutely. I think Morgan's seen him before.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's what's up. So let's see, you would say 14 was your first influence. Do you remember how old were you when you first got on stage?
Oh man, it
doesn't have to be comedy too. What's your first on stage experience?
Good
is what
question,
I'm looking
man.
for.
I started big into music. I used to play guitar.
Really?
I had a little band. We played like the school talent show a couple times in 8th grade. We had a little club gig. We were so awful, man. I think we had some crazy name like Freak Paralysis or something really wacky. You know what I'm saying?
I love Pandora.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we were just, oh, dude, I had the big Jinko jeans, the corduroys and everything.
We all did.
Yeah, the Airwalks.
Hell yeah.
Dude, a wallet chain, everything, man.
Wallet chain. I didn't have the Airwalks, but I had the Jinkos and the wallet chain.
Oh, man, you weren't anything if you didn't have the Jinkos, man.
I used to play football with that wallet chain.
Yeah,
dog.
straight up.
I didn't give a fuck.
Straight up. It was fun, though. That was such an innocent time, man. I played guitar, and we played for our school talent show. I thought that was where, like, my passion lied, and I still love music, you know?
Yeah.
I ended up getting rid of the guitar for, hard times.
Yeah.
It hurt me when I pawned that guitar, man.
I know that's a man's baby right there.
Yeah.
I buy selling fixed instruments also.
I know, that's awesome.
If you ever got one, you need something fixed, come holler at me, my pops.
Straight up. I had an amp for the longest time, a little PV Rage 158 practice amp that it would go in and out. Like as you plug it in, like you'd have to move the little cord and it would go.
Yeah.
You'd have to literally tape it right there.
That one spot. Yeah. That special spot. Yeah.
Yes, sir. But to answer your question, that was the stage experience. I thought that's what it was going to be, man,
How long did y'all do that for?
Oh, probably. This was right before we went to high school, and I was in one of those situations where, like, everybody goes to a different high school based on the school
that's when everybody does their band thing, right? I almost tried to be in a band when I was in that area, like middle school to high school.
Well, you drum, don't you?
I'm a drummer, yeah. But the band I was going to be in, they already had a drummer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it just didn't work out. I was never a band guy.
Yeah, I can see that. It's not. It's fun, and drummers get chicks.
Yeah.
Certainly, but it's the passion kind of waned, I think, as I got more into sports and alcohol, and it didn't leave a whole lot of room in my life for that. But I miss it, man. Sometimes I literally miss the feel of a guitar in my hands.
You should get one because it's soothing to folks like who can play.
Now that I've got a little bit of money, like that, I've been able to save up a little money. I'm not spending it all the time on bullshit. I may do that, dude, because like I told you, the day I had to pawn my guitar was the only time I cried in a pawn shop, man. That was a hard day. But I think I would owe it to myself to go and do that.
Fuck yeah, you should. You know, it's a creative, and it's art. It's creative for your mind, you know what I mean? And therapeutic. People who play, I always watch my dad is in his 60s, like 68, I think, and he comes home every night and still plays.
Yeah.
The guitar or the upright bass.
Right.
You know?
I got a lot of respect for that upright bass, man. That does not look easy.
It's not, but and also I got a lot of respect for my pops because he's the only person in the city that fixes upright basses.
Oh, really?
And yeah, he's the only one, bro. He specializes in them.
Very cool.
And he's the only fucking dude, bro.
Very cool.
It's been exciting to grow up and watch that.
I feel like that was my original outlet to get shit out, was the music. And I wrote songs, did shit like that.
Nice.
It's crazy. Like with what I'm doing now, it's the same feeling, but it's a different manner of going about it. I'm able to, at the end of the day, get that shit out, man.
That's why I love comedy, bro. You get on stage, if you got something you need to get out, you can get it out at an open mic. You know what I mean? If it becomes funny, you can continue to use it.
Yeah.
I'm
serious. Like, I think that's like a need, bro, to be validated and be heard, to know what you're saying is important. I think, you know.
To have your voice, but it's also important to work that voice.
Fucking right.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of people look at what we do and they think we just get up there and do it. They don't understand that we go out every fucking night of the week and we tame what we say on stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
A lot of people think that, you know, it's just a backhanded, oh, whatever, anybody can get up there and do. Dude, it's fucking hard. Like,
It is.
You're thinking about so much, from your cadence to your movements to the damn jokes themselves,
Holding
bro.
the mic. I couldn't hold the mic for months.
You're right.
In the beginning.
You're right. I held it right here, dude. Like literally by my stomach. Everybody, like, I'd be like on stage and they'd be like, oh, Mike. Looked like they were sucking a dick. Like, you know, and I used to do this thing too. I don't know if you ever did this, bro. It was like after I'd say a punchline, I'd like drop the mic away from my face.
I hate
like
that.
I know, dude. It was like such
Like, I said some significant shit and I laughed.
Now listen, yes.
Yeah. Let me listen to what you have.
It
laughter.
was such a bad habit, dude.
Yeah.
I like, that's why I record the shit that I do, man.
Yeah.
So I could see it on tape. I'm like, oh god, dude, I hate watching my comedy. It's like waterboarding myself, dude.
Yeah.
It's like torturous, man.
That's why I don't always visually record myself,
Mm-hmm.
but I always like use like just a recording,
Right.
Just like a verbal recording, because
Yeah.
I need to know what I said on stage sometimes.
Yeah, you're right.
Just doing that too, because it knocks out you. You go back and you listen, and it knocks out those
Oh, dude, I
or-
counted them one time,
or
man.
fucks,
Yeah.
or you know, like I said, it helps you tame your tongue.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so cool. So you were a musician. You were a musician, and so out of high school, did you go to jail from the time high school to college?
I got in little
Or
like
was it-
juvenile arrests and shit like that. You know, a little fighting here, or you know, a little underage drinking there,
All
get
right.
caught with weed here, whatever. It was all slap on the wrist stuff until I went to college. At LSU, my drinking started picking up, and
The real fun started.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was never one of those people that could do shit and just not get in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if 100 people were violating, bro, I was going to be the one that gets locked up that night.
Yeah.
You know? So when the felonies started coming, they started coming, you know?
Yeah, it does. It sucks.
Yeah.
So the first time you went to jail was for drinking and driving?
I'm trying to remember, man.
Or do you remember the first time?
Yeah, I remember I had to do like a 30-day stint one time for a probation violation. And then I remember I got out and then I went back. A couple months later. This time it was a 60-day probation violation. Got out and then went back 14 days later on 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It was the day after Christmas, 2009. Yep.
So what did you violate with?
I was loaded, and I remember it was the day after Christmas. We were going to my aunt's house to go celebrate, and I was just loaded and tried to drive the car. For some reason, I always wanted to drive when I'm loaded. Like I always thought I felt fine. You know,
Yeah.
if you see my ID pictures in jail, I'm like, you know, like I'm falling out of the frame, man.
Yeah, I got so many that I'm just high in, bro. I'm
Yeah.
just fucking. It's and you think you're good, you know
Yes,
what I mean?
do you? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man, come on, bro. Y'all tripping.
Yeah. Y'all can't handle this shit like me. I'm the fucking man.
Yeah, I know. It was ridiculous, dude. But yeah, so I ended up going the day after jail. I got pulled over, got slapped with another DWI. That was like my fourth one at that time, I believe.
Jesus, dude.
And you know, the third one's the felony. You know, the third one.
The second one's the felony now.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. When I was in drug court, like they just started doing like that. They started doing DWI court, and then they mixed in DWI court with drug court people. And I would be sitting in there like, man, y'all are. I mean, dude, people two strikes, 3 strikes, and they were like, if you had the second one, they were trying to give you drug court.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They were trying to give drug court to people with that first one, and I was like, y'all better not take that shit.
Yeah, no, indeed. You'll be right back.
Yeah.
You'll be right back.
Yeah,
You might as well just give me the time then, shit.
Yeah, it's not a fucking fun thing, and I was like, man, they fuck over people with DWI.
They do. You know, I'm aware of like the stipulations and things that you like the procedure. Like I've had a lot of XO ladies on DWI court and drug court and stuff. I've had a lot of partners. So I saw what y'all had to go through, and I don't think at that time of my life it would have worked for me. But maybe a little later on, because like the one thing about doing drugs for so long and running the streets is just like there is no structure. Like I don't follow rules. I don't do anything. At least that holds me accountable to something, even if it sucks. Like just the physical act of following the rules for once. That's why prison was such a big thing, bro. Yeah. Like I followed the rules. Yeah. You gotta
kind of follow the rules. There's certain things in jail you just can't do because people you're in there with look at you like you're fucking crazy or dirty or they'll take advantage of you if you do one wrong thing.
Yeah, a lot of these dudes. I was in there with a dude. My cellie, he had 2 life sentences plus 99 years, man. He told me, he said, man, I could die twice and I'd still have 99 years to do. I was like, damn, bro, when you put it like that.
Yeah.
But, he'd been in jail for so long that, like, that's his life. So he doesn't want a bunch of chaotic youngsters coming in there and fucking shit up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they'll be the first to tell you, look, man, you ain't playing no cards after midnight. You got to keep it down around the bunk. Got to keep your area clean. Stop living, stop trifling. Yeah. Like, they make that their...
It's their domicile. Home. It's their home.
Exactly.
It's their home.
Call it tuition, call it whatever you want. Those dudes, they got to live there,
Yeah, so they keep it clean. That's one thing I noticed about jail is you got to keep your shit clean.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because there's so much going around in that bitch.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm thank God that I wasn't in there when COVID was going on, man.
Right.
That must have been a nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, they were letting people out for COVID. You got COVID, let's get you out of here.
Get you out. They used to, I heard that they were locking people down. I mean, they were putting you in the cell blocks for that shit.
Yeah.
Cell blocks are miserable, dude. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. So let's not go too deep just yet. Let's, so you got in trouble a lot. So let's go back to the college. Is that your?
That's my folks.
Hey.
Yeah.
They can come in if they want. Y'all can come. Glad y'all made it here safe.
They told you they got sideswiped, man.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. So you got out of college and you went to jail. Is that the time that you really went to jail?
That was my first real going to jail. I did 2 years that time.
And what was that for?
That was for the DWI. That was the one I told you about after Christmas Day. I'd been out of college for probably about 6 or 7 months at that time.
Okay.
So
make sure you're talking a little bit into it.
Yeah, gotcha. So at that point, that was my first jose. You know what I mean? Like that was the first time where I went into jail and then ended up getting shipped and going to other places and stuff like that.
Yeah. Said Hunts. Hunts is like I heard a lot about Hunts. That's like a boot camp.
Yeah, they have boot camp over there. That's one thing they can sentence you to. It's like you do 6 months of boot camp over there. And, you might get like a 2-year sentence, but you do 6 months of boot camp and you get out. And, they'll wipe that shit clean. I was never eligible for boot camp or reentry court or nothing like that. Yeah. I was always looking at too much time.
Yeah.
I was never eligible for it, but I don't know if it would have helped, tell you the truth.
Right.
I wasn't for all that shit at that time, man. I knew I had an out date, and that's all I wanted to do was see that out date and just keep fucking up.
Okay. Do you have a belief in God?
Yeah. I was raised Catholic, which we kind of talked about, but I get my beliefs based on what I see. Like I'm a real rational person, and when you talk about God and these abstract like concepts and stuff, it's hard for me to grasp onto that, but I can see the way he works in people's life.
Yeah.
Like I can see him doing incredible things in the lives of people I care about.
Right.
So that's kind of how it makes it concrete to me.
Well, I see him doing it in your life. You're here with me today, bro.
Yeah.
You came a long way to sit in this seat with me.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
So I mean, he does. That's where I really got in touch with God. I mean, I've always had a belief in God, but whenever I went to jail, it was like evident that he was watching over me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he brings us on our path for real, and we got to learn the lessons that we learn where we learn them. Mm-hmm. And he'll take us through that path. And that was one of the prayers when I was in jail. I violated my probation and everything. They told me, my lawyer told me, get ready because you might be doing 8. You might be going to Angola. And I dropped to my knees in my cell and prayed. And I remember my prayer was, I know you're never going to put me through anything that I can't handle. And if this is what you want from me, if this is the journey I need to go, then I'll go on it for you. And by his grace, that he gave me another shot. I didn't have to do that 8. You know what I mean? Like my lawyer got me in drug court, and what really got me, like you said, that structure. So I went to rehab. Did you go to a rehab?
I've been to rehabs, not as a part of jail. Like, it was always a separate thing, Like, I'd either go to jail or to rehab.
Well, yeah, they sent me from jail to rehab.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't go home or nothing.
That actually happened to me 2 years ago. Yeah. I went from jail to rehab.
And that's what happened with me, and I built that structure like you were talking about. And it does help, right? It shows you how to live a real human life, like a structured life, you know what I'm saying? I wash my own drawers.
Yeah.
I clean my own dishes.
Dude. Yeah.
I clean my own dishes.
Yeah. You go to the bathroom with one pants leg off and everything too.
Yeah. I still watch out how many pieces of toilet paper I use.
Yeah.
You
only get like one roll every 2 weeks or something.
Right.
You better make that shit last.
You get that's one ply.
One ply, man.
4 sheets everywhere.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man, it really gave me structure too, and what really helped me was AA. The drug court program brought me to AA, and that AA program really helped me get in touch spiritually more. See, I don't do religion. I mean, I've been through a lot of religions, and I go to churches with all my friends and stuff like that to check out religions. But I do relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where I really see the growth and God like working in my life. Whenever I make sure to pray and I make sure to include him and talk to him about my life, that's when I really see him working in my life. So do you do stuff like that?
Yeah, I don't do AA anymore, and not because I don't believe in it or don't know, aren't aware of what it does in people's lives. I did the AA. Literally, I've been going to AA rooms since I was 15, man.
Okay.
I remember when they used to let you smoke in those rooms, man. That's why I used to choose those rooms, because they let you smoke in there.
They were smoking. I used to go to the Camel Club, bro. They was literally in a room smaller than this that we're in now, just puffing away.
It's crazy. Like this time, I can't explain how it's different. I just know it is. It's like I have outlets for the things that I used to use drugs for, like, I got a good job by the grace of God. I do have a good job now. That's recent. That's a blessing. I got the comedy stuff's starting to pick up and I'm starting to meet new people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe the lie anymore that drugs will try to sell you. Like, 'cause might be fun for a day or two, bro, but I know where it's going to end every single time.
Yeah.
It ends at the same fucking place.
What was your drug of choice?
Heroin.
Me too.
Yeah.
I used to love heroin, dude, like just opioids and stuff like that. I lived my life for them. That shit almost took my family out.
Yeah.
Like my selfishness almost took my family out.
That's a good word, dude. At the end of the day, it is a selfish fucking disease.
Yeah.
Like I hear people sharing these horror stories of like shit that they used to do when they were loaded, or people saying like, oh man, my so-and-so did this, did that, did this. I'm like, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Like, I know. It doesn't shock me.
We do some creepy shit when we're in that world.
Dude, I heard somebody in a video say at one time, man, it was the most true thing ever. Like, heroin addiction didn't give me the luxury of deciding what I wasn't going to do today to go get more.
Right.
Like, today it just might be, you just might have to steal $20 from your parents or something. Tomorrow you might have to go break and like you don't know.
I'm pawning the shit out that Dreamcast.
Yeah,
just
straight up.
Dreamcast got to go.
That's where the guitar went, man. That's where the guitar went.
Yeah.
That was the only time I cried in a pawn shop, man.
I bet.
It wasn't a pretty day, man.
Take my baby from me.
You lose, like, you get real quick over doing this shit because you lose like pride and dignity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's a constant handout.
It's shameful, dude. It's shameful.
Yeah, it's and I feel when I come up here and I see people with the signs and everything on the neutral grounds and stuff. Like I know how it comes to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know, like, that's what they're choosing to do to get money today. Some days it was that. Some days it was whatever. So it doesn't surprise me, man. Nothing surprises me anymore. Things sadden me.
Yeah.
But nothing surprises me.
I mean, out here today, there was a guy, he was sleeping on one of our benches out there with the dog. And one of the people were like, should we ask him to leave? And I was like, nah.
Ask me if you want to be on the podcast.
I don't feel good. I don't feel Why don't you come on in here?
I
Bring
heard
your
this
dog.
was Pickles' house. I was hoping to catch a nap.
Yeah, but it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't be that person to ask somebody to leave because I know, you know what I mean? Like, I just know it's not a fun life, you know?
You're right.
So I'm really glad that you've been through everything you've been through because you are the person who you are now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So when was the first time you got on stage? Actually, before we do that, how long did you do in jail?
This last time I did right under 5 years. The time before that it was 2, and then if you add up all the 30 days here, 60 days here, it's about 7.5, pushing 8 years.
Yeah, so you're well into that system. You know what it's like, and you know you never want to go back. What'd you go for 5 years for?
That was the last DWI I had.
Last DWI.
Yeah.
It's almost I got hit like pulled over for drinking and stuff, but I never got DWIs by the grace of God.
By the grace of God, you know, you're lucky. You know,
I am.
Like people always say, they're like, they think when they hear DWI that you came back from the bar drunk or something like that. It's like, no, I was a drug addict. I was high all day long, like, and I still have to go to Walmart. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I get DWIs going to the grocery store. You know what I mean? Just normal everyday at 9 in the morning. You know?
It's just crazy, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you're high and you still have to get places. You know. So yeah, by the grace of God, man.
All right, and this is what I wanted to get to because you told me you were writing jokes in jail. When did you realize you wanted to be a stand-up comedian?
Oh, man. You know, I always wrote jokes, but the passion to get on stage really took place probably about a year ago, man. And like, you know, we were talking about the podcast did it. It wasn't so much hearing the material. It was hearing a show like Opie and Anthony where it would just be a room full of comics just talking, dude. It seemed like such a fun hang, like such a fun club to be in. That I'd always had these premises that I'd written, man, little bits of jokes and stuff here, little roast stuff here and there. But, you know, I've started putting it together and getting up on stage about a year ago.
Nice.
And I couldn't find enough excuses to get up there, you know. Being in Mandeville, there were no open mics down there. There's like one, and it's so sporadic, you know, you can't really depend on it. I knew that the goal would have to be to get up here. I mean, all my friends now are comics, you know. Like this is, you know, I'm happy to be included.
So what was the first mic that you did? You remember the first time you ever got on stage?
Yeah, the Hideaway Den and Arcade. I was just so sure that I was going to kill. That was just an afterthought, you know? Like, it was a foregone conclusion at that point. I remember, did I eat dick? Holy shit, dude. Like, I remember literally doing is this thing on? You know? Like, how are they not laughing at my brilliance? But no, it's like, they just don't get it, man. Yeah, dude, I go back and I read some of that shit now, bro.
Dude, let me tell you, the first time I saw you, it was kind of like that on stage, too. You did Ugly Dog, and I was like, he's kind of clever. He's kind of a degenerate. He's kind of, but I like him. You know what I mean? And you didn't get too many laughs the first time, but you did get some laughs. And you came up to me, and I remember encouraging you to keep doing this shit because I saw something in you that was funny. You know what I mean? And you just had it. And people don't realize you got to grow into who you are on that stage.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It goes back to cutting your teeth. You know what I'm saying? Taming your tongue. You get up there. You got to get up there 1,000 times to really become who you are. You know what I mean? And once you find that voice, then real fun starts. You know what I mean? You came to my show last night and was one of the best comics in the room.
Thank you, man.
You know, you absolutely destroyed that room, and it was great to watch. So
that was cool, bro.
Yeah, I love my room, dude. My room is fun. It's been getting some good crowds, and you hit them up last night. I'm glad you came through.
Bro. I appreciate it. You can host a hell of a show, man.
Thank you, man. It's
definitely have that MC in you, bro.
Yeah, dude. I had to get used to that too. Everything's getting used to. I learned that in the pandemic. You know, just by hosting all kinds of shows.
That's such a a hard to come by talent. Like, it's even different than just stand up. Being able to host a show.
Yeah.
There's only a handful of y'all that can do it really well in the city. You know, Ryan's another one of them. But you definitely got the personality to host a show and keep it moving the hell along.
Yeah, it's you got to learn that, you know, and I learned that in the pandemic, man. Just by running shows, I was the first comic to put together shows in New Orleans 4 months into the pandemic, you know. So we weren't stopping. I found a way to get this thing going.
How were y'all doing them, like during the pandemic?
We were doing book shows, so we had equipment, and my buddy had all the equipment, right? Jorge Velasquez, and we had like 8 mics. So everybody who went up on the stage got their own mic. You got to plug it in. You know what I mean? We did 5 shows in the heat of the pandemic, and then we started after that, like open mics and stuff. Bring the open mics back. Let's get the shows rolling. You know, we had shows, dude. We had a house on Lake Pontchartrain that we were doing shows off the balcony.
I like that. It's the guerrilla vibe, man.
The guerrilla vibe, dude. 30-degree weather next to the lake, just wind whipping. Yeah, you know what I mean. And we had like bonfires down below, and I mean, people, like 50 people out there by the bonfires, and people sitting in their cars just watching us do comedy. Yeah, in the freezing cold weather. You know what I mean? It's
like, I believe if you have that in you, it's got to come out. Like, that's why you hear these stories during the pandemic of like Dave Chappelle standing on a truck tailgate and just doing like comedy for people in a park randomly, or Bill Burr doing the same thing. Like, they had to get that out. Like, it had to come out some kind of way.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna have to wrap up, but before we go, do you have any advice for people out there that are looking to do comedy as young people?
Right. Definitely right. The key is like a wealth of material, man. Like, you can have a lot of shit, you know, you can have a lot of shitty material, just have a lot of material, you know? Like, and don't stop. Like, I go back now and I'm reading stuff that I used to write, and you find a new angle on it, man. Like, I've got notebooks, flashcards, my phone is filled up, man. Just write your ass off. And then get on stage.
Yeah, I don't have any room. Any room in my phone left to do anything.
Yeah,
you know?
I know,
literally.
bro.
My phone's every day is like, you need more data, bro.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
The getting on stage for me is the big thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I tell everybody. You need to write, you know, try to write. I try to write 5 every week if I can.
I love that.
But getting on stage was the main point for me. I want to thank you for coming in today,
Thanks, man.
brother.
It was a pleasure.
You know,
I had a good time.
It's been a pleasure watching you on this new journey and your development.
Thank you, man.
So keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing great, brother.
Thank you, bro.
And I'm excited for you to be on Comedy Fest, and I'm excited to roast the shit out of you.
Yeah, bring it, bro. All those fat jokes I was gonna use for you know who, I'm using for you now.
Come at me, bro. Come at me.
That's awesome, man.
No, use the fat jokes for you know who. Damn that.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know you would probably have a better sense of humor about
How
it than
dare
you know
you
who.
say you can't use fat jokes in a roast battle? You know what I'm saying? Like, how dare you?
Yeah.
He's trying to come at me, you know.
Yep.
I could say you're fat in 1,000 ways without using the word fat. You know what I mean? Like,
you trust me, I'm clever. I'll get it in there.
Yeah, that's what people don't understand. I'm too clever to use the word fat. You know what I'm saying? And that's why but I'm not even gonna use a fat joke. I got a whole nother for that one particular.
Yeah, me too.
I got this whole other fucking thing that no one's gonna see coming.
Oh man, I wrote like so much more brutal jokes after that. Just 'cause I was so angry.
Listen,
I was like, you're gonna wish I was calling you fat.
I am a team captain, and I talk to your team captain, and I hear him tell me he had to tell you, like, don't do that joke or something like that, like lean it, like calm down a little bit.
He had to tell me a couple times. It was just too many.
People are lucky.
Row,
people are lucky. I didn't get to pick you because you were on my list of pickings, and I would be like, all signs say go.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean? I'd give you that green light because I don't give a fuck. But
they know at the end of the day that he's not going to be able to control what comes out of my mouth. It was just him giving me some advice because, you know, he was the MVP of it last year. So He's just giving me some advice in terms of how I divvy the jokes up between people, you know?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, people make the mistake of just saying the meanest thing you can think of instead of saying the funniest thing you can think of, you know?
Right.
It's not always the same thing.
Right.
You know, I'll go for the joke before I go for the dig, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
You know?
That's what we going for here on Pickles House, baby. The joke. We always go for the joke with Matthew LaRocca, man. Thank you so much for coming in and doing this with me today, bro.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure for me too, bro.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you up on that stage doing your thing.
Amen. Same here, bro.
Amen, baby.
All right.
Y'all have a good one. Thank y'all for tuning in today at Pickles House, man. Y'all have a good, safe day out there. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. That's a wrap?
That's a wrap, baby.
All right, bro.